Hi, everybody.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
and me, Banshee, and Sunny.
Oops, I didn't even have it on the right camera.
I know, I kept looking there like, why is he doing that?
It toggled differently than I thought it toggled.
Okay.
So, here we are.
No blame. Oh, look at hey, Violet Lotus. Violet Lotus has volunteered to be moderator, so we will have somebody keeping our list, which is awesome. At least, if she needs a break, we can always back up. I already wrote the list out what I had of it. Gina!
Muhaha. Ultimate power to Violet.
I knew that Gina would be here.
Hi, Gina. Hi, everybody. Hi, Merwin. Hi, Mama T. I think Angel Mary dropped in.
Everybody today.
Sile's first is what it looks like.
It is, but
and
first is our card of the collective, eh, Mr. O? A's
for horses.
Let's get the old fireplace going here. It's chilly. It's going to be close to 0 in wind chill tonight. Brrr. Let's squeeze up a little. Well, anyway, our card for the collective today will be
from
Sunny will let him show it.
Denise Lynn's Sacred Destiny Oracle.
By Denise Lynn. I'm going to be mixing up, I do a silly cat card for Saturdays on Twitter and Facebook, because Saturdays are known as Catterday, but we're going to be mixing it up a bit, and this will probably be my last week of Catterday cards for a while. And I'm thinking I might rotate through the Sacred Destiny, Forest, and Traveler decks of Denise Lynn on Saturdays for a while, which is why I brought this one out today.
Yes, it's been pretty cold here lately. Our snow is kind of okay-ish. It's nothing really big anymore, but it is cold and windy.
The gang is all here, even Merwin, who's snowed in.
Well, hopefully there's not a better way to be snowed in than with us.
Yeah, I like that, Mr. O. They can read that upright only.
Okay, so...
What is it?
Trust. Who do ya?
What is it?
Trust.
Wow. Interesting. Keep getting cards that I think apply to a greater population. Who do you trust right now? And it's also called Desert Vision. The desert seems parched and devoid of life. Yet it is to the desert that spiritual sojourners go to gain messages from the Creator. Traditionally, the desert is a place of spiritual cleansing, renewal, and profound healing visions. Just as desert terrains can feed our souls, they can also nourish lands thousands of miles away. For example, the Sahara Desert and the Amazon rainforest are great distance from each other. One is a vast dry area of sand and scrub, while the other is moist, lush, and green. And yet they are connected. Annually, thousands of tons of nutrient-rich dust from the Sahara crosses continents in the upper atmosphere and deposits vital phosphorus and other minerals to the Amazon, which is needful of those exact nutrients. So the sacred landscape, what does it want you to know? This is a powerful and important card to receive. Even when things seem parched or not fruitful, a deeper energy speaks of the power of your inner knowing. Meditate. Trust those nudges from the universe. Your celestial advisors are close now. You are now open to receive some of the most important messages of your life through your intuition. Your intuition is spot on, so trust it. And even if there are some areas of your life that seem lackluster, know that other areas are being fertilized for a resplendent future. Have faith and know there is a higher purpose. So this trust is about, I think, internal trust more than anything. It's about trusting your instincts, trusting your gut to guide you. It won't let you down.
All right. Thank you, Banshee.
You are welcome. Okay, we will keep that in mind, Ramadeep, when it's your turn. All right. Let's move forward. All right, so we do have the list posted. Everybody knows where they are. And I believe Sile was first. Am I right, Violet Lois? And there's the question. Thank you, Sile. Oh, man.
No, you're not late.
No, you're not late.
You were the first
are
one
fine.
here.
Yeah, you were. So you were the first one here, so you are good. All right. So let's roll. Do you want to use one of your decks, or should I use one of mine?
You can use one. I still don't see the question. Do you?
Oh, yeah. It's up
Let's
here.
see. I need to do
It's-
the live chat thing then, maybe. I'm on top chat. Hold on.
I can't believe I got the message and you don't. That's rare.
It happens once in a while. There it is.
Okay. I'm going to take that off. It's kind of getting in my way. All right, I'm going to use... Oh, I didn't even talk about our decks, so we'll just introduce them as we go.
Sounds
I did bring out
absolutely
the
great.
Grimalkin Tarot today, so I think I'll use that one by MJ Cullinane. It's a nice cat deck. I do have most of the decks I used last Sunday's show.
Well, I don't know for sure, but it seems to me that it may not be so much about you attracting older men as maybe older men just being lecherous and desirous of younger women.
Oh, dear.
Yes, I think that can be possibly just as responsible for that.
All right, here you go.
All right, thank you.
Sonny, you take up whatever space we give you. You know that.
You do. You do know that.
He's pretty laid back tonight.
He had a good meal like we did. I'm pretty satiated and I could probably relax.
Well, I'm just wondering when we're going to catch up with all you guys snow-wise, because it's been pretty dead in our part
Hush
of
your mouth.
our part of Michigan.
We
But
usually
where
get that
Mr.
kind of
O's
snow.
mother's at, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, Michigan, though, does indeed have more of a snow belt than Tennessee might, or, you know, some other states, so...
Got a foot of snow up there.
Okay. So we have a... whoops. Just give me a moment. Here we go. First card. The reverse Six of Wands.
Get ready for another 6.
The upright Six of Cups. The Ten of Pentacles. And
All
that
right,
one's
so I
upright.
just want to examine that question again, because it's kind of a weird... So let me take a look. Weird situation with the cards. Stalker vibes. Okay, client. The Six of Wands is reversed. The Six of Cups is upright. I don't know. It's possible. I'll just say this. You might have a different take on this, but Sile, I'm looking at the Six of Cups, and I'm thinking to myself that maybe you remind him of
Bingo.
somebody from his past.
That's what I thought.
I'm not sure, but I think that's possible here because of the nature of that card. The Six of Wands is reversed, though. And what is the other one? The Ten of Pentacles. Well, I also think maybe he feels there's some kind of status in in you as a catch for him, that there's some status associated with, either attracting a younger woman.
But he's also a client.
Yes.
So I'm wondering about if that's where the Ten of Pentacles comes in,
Well,
because
okay, go ahead.
because maybe he just looks at you too also as feeling like, maybe along with the status thing, but also that you would somehow be able to help him with his as a client too, that you would increase. Plus maybe he has family feelings about clients too. So go on. I'm sorry.
I'm not sure what that was, but I got most of what you said there. I like what you said there, because it is possible that he thinks there's something to be gained in the client-business relationship, too, by attracting you and coming on in that manner. Who can figure men sometimes? But I will say that the Six of Wands is reversed here. So what does that mean, Mr. O? Do you think it means he doesn't think he has a chance, or what?
Well, it may tie into the ideas from the past that maybe, there was this thing that he did not have success in, and so maybe he sees this as a possibility to motivate himself to a greater success. Like the person from the past, that one didn't work out or not the way that they wanted, the Six of Wands. So this one is another chance to try for that.
Okay. I'm going to go with that. That's the only card that really kind of threw me for a loop here. I almost felt it just meant that, he just feels he has to go for it because there's some gain. And also, I still can't help but feel that Six of Cups is important too, that there's some kind of connection with somebody from their past.
Right. We both sort of feel that that's part of it. But if, in a general sense, older men, younger women, there's just kind of a whole societal thing about that.
Well, that's why I said there's a status thing associated with that.
Correct. And it may have nothing to do with really you exactly in the way you think, just maybe it's status. What did you get?
I need to see that. Okay. I drew the bouquet, which is generally a good card.
And I drew the clouds.
Depending on what it comes up with here. And I really wonder about this combination, Beware of this person, because they may offer a lot, they may sweet talk you, but there's deception here or something, under the surface you need to look deeper into. Yeah, I'd be careful with this one, Sile.
Well, I almost feel like those two ideas there, I agree with totally, but then it makes me sort of look at the Six of Wands and say, maybe this isn't so much about a past defeat. Maybe this is just about a person who doesn't take no for an answer, too. Like maybe this is somebody... I'm just getting this twinge from the Six of Wands as somebody who vacillates in the defeat, I will get back on top thing. So it may be that they're expecting some rebuffs, but they're probably still feeling that they will have success with you.
So maybe there is a little bit of a stalker vibe here. But I decided, Sile, to look at the bottom card on this, and I got the Nine of Wands reversed, which indicates to me that you might be able to extricate yourself from this situation without too much problems. Maybe this person will go away or give up. Just don't give them any feeling that they're making any progress with you. But the Nine of Wands is about, wait, I'm thinking of the Nine of Swords. Rats. So the Nine of Swords, actually I will go with this Nine of Wands, is I feel they will eventually give up and move on. That's what this card is.
It's funny
about.
you say that too, because I sort of was looking again at the Six of Wands reversed. Still not quite satisfied with what I was seeing there, but I actually wonder if this just maybe says they won't really have success with you either. Because
I think they will be persistent. And I think that Six of Wands is like that, but ultimately I think they'll just give up and go away. So I don't think it's going to end up being anything really, really worrisome. Hopefully.
Well, I've seen some really patronizing behavior by older males who might have some amount of authority. I worked in the medical institution, and I remember there was a particular older doctor who treated all the ladies in my department sort of that way. Oh, girls, I'm here. It was really kind of patronizing. But I think it was also, too, just kind of what they were used to, because it was really from a much older world. I mean, this was like 30 years ago, and they were already pretty old. Oh, yes. Okay.
Put them in.
And I'm
All right,
slightly
that's
annoyed.
what we have for you, Celia. Good luck with
Okay.
that situation.
Yeah, look at my boy. That's my boy.
Oh, hey, Libra.
Hi, Libra.
Good to see you here. All right, so Ramandeep, you are up and you had posted your question.
Yes, let me go back to that.
I've got it. Well, you
All
can
right.
go ahead and read it.
Sure.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think you're Doc.
Okay. Should we just go for a yes or no, or how do you want to do it? Let's look at it and then ask yes or no.
Let's do 3 cards first and see what kind of vibe we get.
And
we may not need the yes.
Due to the nature of the question, I'm going to use my Secrets Tarot, the Secret Tarot, because it sort of suits the idea of, this kind of behavior, perhaps. So, Happy New Year, Ramandeep. I don't know if you celebrate that, but for everybody here, it is not our first broadcast of the new year, but it's close. It's
No,
close.
it's not.
Well,
I was just thinking about this, Mr. O. I could be wrong,
what?
but I am not sure that since we started this project, we're in our 3rd year now, that we've ever had a Thursday and a Sunday off. We took one Sunday off, right, for that program? No, or was that happy hour day? That was happy hour day.
I'm sorry, but I think you're at times a cruel taskmaster, and I don't believe you've let us have any days off. I don't believe we've had a single
We had
day
New
off.
Year's Eve and New Year's
Well, I'm talking
Day
about from our regular
and Christmas
streams.
Day.
I'm not talking about the Saturday happy hours. I'm talking about the regular established streams. Because even though those happy hours were both replaced by pop-up streams that were twice as long. So this kind of goes to my point about you being a taskmaster.
I'm cutting the cards now. Mr. O.
Okay, you did cut them. Thank you. Okay,
Cracking the whip.
so let's see what's going on with this Frank person. And we have the reversed 5 of Wands. And then we have the upright 2 of Wands. And then we have the reversed 4 of Chalices or Cups.
Well, this is interesting. I'm sure you have really good reasons to feel the way you do about this situation. But I almost think they're not, because it looks as though that's the 5 of Wands reversed. They seem to be walking away from something that didn't work out, right? They're moving. The 5 of Wands reversed is about conflict.
That's one of those ones
easing.
where we might differ a little bit, but
Well, we'll talk. Okay, because
Go on.
the 5 of Wands, and then you look at that next card, the 2 of Wands, indicates to me that they're already maybe looking for the next adventure, or they're planning their next moves, which I don't think have anything to do with you, Ramandeep, because the 4 of Cups is there reversed. And it indicates to me that they're maybe opening up now for other opportunistic things to happen for them.
well, it's not clear about, what you're wondering about, some sort of magic or spell or energy directed at you, but it does look to me mostly exactly like what Banshee says, that
Well, like it's not coming from that person.
Well, and further, that I sort of feel that this person maybe is focusing elsewhere. I sort of feel that this is saying there's a focus going somewhere else, perhaps. There's an idea about thinking about other sorts of mastery or control that they're looking at. So I don't feel it's the person you're indicating. I do sort of feel that with that Five of Wands, that could be indicating a contrary energy coming to you. Mostly I see this energy connected to maybe social things, people talking about you, just feeling that vibe of, people, being suspicious of you or talking about you and you're suspicious
Are you
of
getting
them.
that from the 5?
A little bit.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I don't feel that this person, Frank, is causing this. Is that what you think?
I just thought the 5 was about walking away, that they're moving
Yeah,
on.
I said that too. Didn't you hear me?
Yeah, I did, but
Okay.
the other part, yeah.
I didn't say walking away so much as just focusing differently.
Right.
Is what I
Well,
thought.
that's what I'm saying, is they're now moving on to something
So
else.
let's do our Lenormand then.
That maybe...
Do I go first?
No, I won't let you.
What is it with you? Aren't you just happy enough being my taskmaster? Okay. I picked one.
What do you got? Oh.
The letter. I pulled the letter.
Well, this is interesting. And then I've got the book. So I wonder here if you're not going to find out something about this person.
Yeah.
You might be getting some news either from this person or about this person. I don't think it's anything negative. This is those two particular Lenormand together are very, very neutral. It's just about finding out something, and it sounds like it's going to be news. And my guess is it might be coming from that person, or it's about that person.
It looks to me like maybe what we're talking about, which I was sort of seeing a focus taking them somewhere else. She was sort of just saying walking away. I think you're going to find this out probably in a relative soon, because of the letter being there, and the book is information or news coming to you, finding out things. So I sort of think that you will find out more about this, and it will be probably more like what we're saying than not.
Yeah. So I think that it'll work out. I mean, I just feel that they, whatever the case may be, that they just have decided to set their sights on something else. And if they were coming, I guess if they were wanting to get intimate with you, and they're married, well, it's certainly likely that they're going to move on to somebody that's easier to, agree to it.
I don't feel that there's anything malignant coming from them towards you that would be energy magic based, but I think that they may have some enmity towards you, some anger or feelings about you because you weren't accessible to them.
Yeah, I guess that's part of the Five of Wands. I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, Merwin's got an interesting question. Merwin is next, too.
Hi,
That's
Merwin.
what we have for you, Ramen Deep. Wish you the best with that situation. Boy, we have some tricky relationship things here going on.
By the way, somebody told me that recently it seemed like a number of people are having dreams that are either a little bit scary or bother them, dreams that have questions for them when they wake up. And I thought I've had a couple of interesting dreams or mirror type dreams, so just throwing that out there too in respect to Merwin.
All right, Merwin's question is about the number 13.
Yes.
It's the same license plate. What is the universe trying to tell? All right. Well, I'm going to grab the Meryl Streep Tarot here. There's a whole Meryl Streep Tarot. So the Meryl Streep Tarot for Merwin.
And you're welcome, Ramandeep. I hope that helped you. I truly feel that they're probably not doing anything other than maybe talking about you. I mean, I think sometimes that's an energy people can feel if somebody's angry or has a certain amount of rage or bad feeling. I think that sometimes that is a sensible, palpable kind of energy, but I don't know that it's directed or focused necessarily to be magical or, causing harm. But sometimes people have that much energy that they could do that just because
That's true.
they're that bent and determined. So it's maybe you are experiencing that, but I can't really say that I see that specifically in the cards. Anyway, I just wanted to say that. Hi, Sunman.
Welcome back.
And now on to number 13. Hello there. Could you lay down or something? Could you?
Sonny, lay down. It's going to take... Oh, hey.
Take out things.
Yes.
Can I use this?
Sorry. Welcome to my world.
I know.
All right. Okay.
All right, good.
You're very welcome.
You are welcome. Thank you.
Yikes.
Oh, Merwin.
Oh, dear. This is really a weird one, Merwin. All right. We have the 9 of Swords reversed. They're really not all bad, but there is a bad one here. We have the 4 of Wands reversed. And then we have that dreaded 5 of Swords upright. Why are you seeing the same number? Let me think a minute here. Well, it's interesting because the 4 of Wands is not a bad card. Maybe it's saying, well, and the 9 of Swords reversed.
The 4 of Wands is the party card.
Yes, well, the 4 of Wands upright is the party card. The 4 of Wands reversed is maybe a little more subdued party card. Just enjoying, the simple pleasures of life. But we have the 5 of Swords here. So what does the number 13 mean essentially, Mr. O?
Well, if we're looking at it as a tarot, 13 is, of course, death, which is transformation, change, big change. If we're just looking at it numerologically, it could break down to 4, which is kind of a good number.
Well, and we have a 4 there, too.
We do, but the 4 in and of itself sort of has connections to Jupiter, if I recall right. I think it's Jupiter. But if we look at it just colloquially, culturally, then the 13 is a bad luck number in the greater culture. That may not necessarily apply. I think it's interesting the 4 of Wands is in the middle there, because I think that's sort of the focus or the balancing, that life has enough of a keel for you to get by, but maybe what the 13 card means is that there are some adversity or some struggles coming up, and this may also involve passing trouble, as we say, or lightening up on certain depressing things of some sort. So maybe some of this is saying, in order to move ahead, to transform 13, you have to take those things into account, that there's always going to be some adversity, something that you're going to have to try to stay on top of or in control of. And there's always going to be this sense of having to try to release sorrows or things that are really not your problem, that maybe weigh you down and you shouldn't let it.
Well, it's tough. I was definitely putting the 9 of Swords together with the 5 of Swords because they seem to have a message here. The 5 of Swords is about adversity, is about struggle. It's often about just there's no winners. So sometimes I think you feel, I think you have come a long way I think maybe this is talking about a positive transformation for you, Merwin. And I mean this sincerely. I look at that 9 of Swords reversed and I think now, by your very ability to overcome your fears, to maintain an even balance in your life, that you are able to overcome the adverse conditions that come your way. And that's the Five of Swords there. And I feel like that the Four of Wands is indicating you have learned to appreciate life at its, for its simplistic value. I mean, just the simple pleasures of life. Watching the snow fall when you don't have to go out in it, for example, cuddling with a good book, etc. You know how to really fall back on the good times that you've had to get you through the adverse moments. And I feel like you have strengthened along the way. Does that make sense?
Well, in a way, of course, because the Five of Swords does sort of represent the idea of somebody being stronger than their opposition or being overwhelmed by it when it's reversed. So it may be saying that sometimes, duty is kind of hard. Duty, service, work is lonely, the lonely person at the top, you had to cleave your way there. I think this reading does really speak about you as somebody, dealing with changes that come to you. I hope it resonates to you because I feel a really nice thing about this reading.
I honestly don't know about the trouble releasing per se, because I feel the Nine of Swords reversed is about overcoming your fears. Your fears are overcoming. And that Five of Swords upright is, what are you overcoming? You're overcoming adversity. And maybe sometimes you feel, that's your lot in life, in a way that, it's been one thing after another. Don't I know that? We all do. We all experience times like that. But the Four of Wands indicates, things aren't all that bad for you. You have so much that you can fall back on. And I love that Four of Wands, actually, there.
Yeah, I do, too. It's a nice picture of it.
Well, this one wanted to come, so I'm going to see what it is.
It just jumped into your hands, right?
Yeah, it's stuck there. Oh, my God. Well.
I see what she says. She pulled the heart.
What did he pull?
And I pulled the ring. So I would say that this mostly means that when you really focus, when you really evaluate what it is you want, your heart's desire, you can make the commitments you need to get yourself going there, that you are committing yourself to your happiness, whatever it takes. No?
No, I'm into it, but it just puzzles me why we got this totally romantic looking two Lenormands here.
I kind of steered a little bit away from that, didn't I?
You did, but for
You're not gonna?
For some reason, I'm stuck there. Because, yes, I totally agree with what he says. I also think it could mean, now you need to commit to self-love, to loving yourself and to, appreciating what you have and who you are. You've overcome your fears. You've overcome adversity. You've got a lot here. You enjoy many pleasures in life. But also, when I look at that, I'm thinking, am I missing something here? Is this 13 indicating that something is coming to you relationship-wise now? I'm not going to rule that out. But I do think it's more a call to, love yourself through all of this, because times have been tough. They've all taken a toll on all of us, this COVID thing. I know you've lost some people and have had people sick with that. And so I feel that, commit to loving yourself now and taking care of you. That's what we have for you.
Thanks, Merwin.
Good luck with that. That was a kind of a difficult combination, though. I really didn't think it was totally bad. I never liked the Five of Swords, though. I just never liked that card in a reading, but it's context with what other cards come with it. So, All right. We are on, I believe it's Angel Mary, right?
And they wrote a question.
All right.
How do you want to handle that?
Meet the spouse in 2022. Well, let's start with a yes/no and see what we get there.
Okay, and I'm going to use my Tarot of the Cat people. Meow.
We're gearing up and thinking of ideas for Super Tarot Love Month. So stay tuned for that. And by the way, don't forget this week, Happy Hour returns on Saturdays. Woohoo! You can get happy once more at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
That's right.
Thanks for maintaining the list, Violet Lotus. We so appreciate it.
It really makes a nice difference. Thank you. We'll have to put you in the credits.
It's back! I love doing happy hour. I do.
I like doing it. And I'll be able to do it next Saturday, too, at 10 a.m. I do work next Saturday.
Oops.
But I work at
noon. Later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe your schedule will be getting back to normal now that the vacations, holidays are...
And the various coworkers are calling in with COVID.
Well, sadly, yeah. There are people just dropping...
Somebody was on a COVID watch, but they have apparently not tested negative. But they called in on the day that somebody who had been off for quarantine had finally come back. And then at a former place I worked at that I still keep up with my friends there, they have 10 people off. They have a much bigger staff, but 10 people
I can count them if you want.
Really socks it to them. Thank goodness nobody's needing hospitalizations.
Well, it's leaning towards no. You have a rather difficult card in the mix here, but also a very positive one. So let's see what we have here. We have the Tower reversed. And then we have the Sun upright. So I feel like this is going to be a year of some shifts and changes for you. Some of them might be rather disruptive. So you might be spending some time on other areas of your life, Angel Mary, and not with the romance department, but the Sun is there, which indicates to me that something positive will happen in 2022. I don't know if you will meet, your future spouse, but you may meet somebody and have a relationship, because that looks kind of positive for that. But I really feel that as far as the spouse, and maybe it's just because of all the things still going on in the world with COVID. I know that they keep talking now about how we now have to learn to live with it and it's going to be more normalized. But yet we're really not seeing that yet. So many places are shutting down or having people out sick. So hospitals overrun. So I feel that maybe that's playing into this a little bit too, is some of the confusion with this year. But the Sun is here.
Right. I think there's a possibility there, even though it leans towards no. So it's saying that it could maybe be yes, but it doesn't look like that. But I think Banshee's got it here. There's a sense, too, that maybe things are rebuilding. The Tower is rebuilding itself, and everybody's got to figure out exactly what it is they need to know going forward. Some of this may be deeper lessons, some of this may be not so deep lessons, but I think there is this chance that with this rebuilding process, that something will loom on the horizon for you. It may be coming more like about, the end of the year or later in this year, if it happens. It just seems like maybe there is this idea that people are going to pull together because they have to, and in that pulling together, many opportunities can arise.
Well, yeah, and we still have to undergo, and I think it's just whatever, there are things that are going to be affecting your life that are going to take some time and some sorting out, I feel. And so it may, like I said, it may be more your priority than actually finding your spouse, as it turns out. But let's take a look at what the Lenormand have to say about this.
I'm going to want to say something about that COVID thing you guys are talking about. All right.
Okay. No, you cannot have my room.
Oh, you little wiggle worm, look at that.
I know.
Watch what you're doing.
Ooh.
So I pulled the cross. And you pulled the letter.
So I don't know how this applies to your spouse per se, or finding a spouse, but I do feel it may apply to what I was talking about here about some of the disruptions that might be happening for you this year, Angel Mary, because it's indicating there's a letter that may bring some worry or stress, possibly some sorrow or grief.
That's what I'm wondering too, is that that's exactly what I feel, that maybe amidst everything
letter,
else.
Message.
Yeah, that you may have some bad news. It may be concerning some of this kind of stuff, the idea of a lot of things breaking down, but maybe also offering some chances to rebuild.
It could concern family or some goals you are wanting to achieve. I'm not sure, but I do feel that it's going to bring some disappointment and stress, a little bit of stress. The cross is not just about grief, because it can be about that. So that's what I'm saying. I hope there's nobody sick in the family right now or anything like that. There could be some grief, some stress, and some worry that's associated with the cross. And so it's not you directly, but it may be somebody, that will affect you in some way. So that's what we have for you, Angel Mary. Good luck with that.
So a year ago, or longer actually, when all of this was new with the COVID and before we had the vaccinations, I heard this about a place I worked at, that a person knew they were probably sick, but they came into work anyway, and it took like a week before people figured out that the other people that were getting sick was because of that person. I don't really remember the exact story, but this was the person who...
Hey, Margaret, welcome to the show.
Oh, hi, Margaret.
We'll add you to the list. All right. Sorry.
Well, the particular coworker was a person who every year dragged themselves in every day because you could get a bonus for never using your sick time. Of course, there's no bonus for infecting others with something like
Okay,
COVID.
Violet Lotus, awesome. And we are on Mama T, correct? Mama T wanted a general, I believe?
Yeah. No.
General reading, please.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
No problem. My deck?
I don't remember whose deck was
I
last.
think it is
mine.
my deck. So I'm going to bring back out the Golden Girls Tarot in honor of Betty White, who passed. So we do have a copy of the Golden Girls Tarot. That's one of the decks I'm still using today.
Well, Mama T may be having tower issues, but it looked like that last reading had some tower issues going on too.
That's true. The tower was reversed. I never like to see that, because that just means that, there's some things that still have to be taken care of. Thank you, Violet Lotus. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yep, appreciate that. And don't forget to watch my show on Friday mornings, The Emotional Exchanges, where I pull...
You're still a little ways off, Libra. There's we're
One
doing
card.
Mama T, and there's two others in front of you. Oh, Merwin, wow. Yeah, I remember you talking about that with me.
And Banshee has the Material Matters on Sundays.
I don't know, it's getting... I mean, I don't know what to say. I still don't want to catch it if I don't have to or can avoid it.
Nationwide, we only have somewhere around 62% vaccinated. That's really low in terms of
Well, in
trying
the city of Detroit,
it's even lower.
even worse. Shuffle. It's even worse. They have maybe 43% possibly fully vaccinated. And I thought I heard the figure 39%, so I'm not sure. 43% may have one vaccination, and 39% may have both vaccinations. Very, very low. Well, you know, I it's such a tough call. I mean, businesses have been through so much. And we're getting such confusing advice now that I'm not even sure what to say anymore. I just heard that I think it's the American Medical Association has come out with a statement saying that we need to learn to live with this now. So I don't think things are going to close fully anymore. But I sure wish it could just for a brief while.
Capitalism
Especially
is
after this
spoken.
major holiday, travel, etc. stuff.
It is basically up to everybody to try to do what they can for themselves.
Well, we got some good news, Mama T, and we got some bad news. We got the Knight of Cups reversed. We got the Ace of Swords reversed. Oh, this is so interesting. And then we have the Queen of Cups upright. I should let Mr. O go first on this one, but I have some ideas if you don't.
Well, there's some emotional fracas going on. There are some things that are moving back and forth. You may be feeling you're moving towards some disappointments about some things you really wanted to happen. And some of this may be falling in the area of what you're trying to accomplish, new beginnings. You may just feel like there's too many delays there, or something's not quite cutting the mustard, as they say. And it's just going to be a little bit of a challenge for you to want to work with self-control, because some of your emotions are guiding you a little bit to be more nervous or anxious, perhaps.
Yeah, people that are vaxxed and boosted are getting it. So, well, Mama T, this is really interesting. I mean, let's look at that Ace of Swords in the middle of a Knight of Cups reversed, and then we have the Queen of Cups upright. Well, the Queen of Cups upright is where you really want to be emotionally. The Knight of Cups reversed is showing a little bit of imbalance in emotions right now. Maybe things have been weighing heavily on you. You know, we all go through difficulties in the winter months. I have a little bit of a seasonal affective disorder, so it might be that, you know, your moods are projecting on your goals and the things that you wanted to accomplish. And so that's why that Ace of Swords is reversed. The victory is not there right now. It's delayed. And basically, though, what it's saying is that Queen of Cups, once you pull yourself together, once you feel whole again, you will be able to turn that Ace of Swords around. I just feel like that it's like a projection here. Well, I'm feeling bad, and therefore nothing is working, you know. I'm not motivated to get anything done, or I feel it's going to take too much of my energy and I just don't have it right now. But ultimately, if you pull it together, like that Queen of Cups says there, things will start to fall into place. That's what I see.
All right,
Anyway.
so, and earlier this week I was feeling despondent with the news that one came back and then another one's taking off. And I felt like I'm lucky because I could tell my boss I'm leaving, or I just need to suspend my schedule for a while. But it's like what Banshee said, there's no real clear answer here, and they're going to expect people to just learn how to deal with this. And that means a lot of older people or a lot of compromised people are going to have more problems than others. And that's going to be a big cost on society.
I pulled the ship.
And I pulled the clover.
So, Mama T, just want to tell you, when the time is right, you'll be able to move things forward. I could read this two ways. So once you pull it together emotionally and you feel more together to move forward with your goals, when the time is right, things will start moving for you. But I would also say this, that, there is luck in this movement. So the thing is, you really should try to do whatever you need to put yourself in the position of getting to work on your goals. Because I think moving on your goals would be very lucky for you.
I think you should just take this as a sign that luck is more likely to be with you than not with you. And that although there may be some things that are stressing you out, that are emotionally problematic, the indications are saying that luck is coming to you. Luck is traveling to you, in my opinion. And where it's coming from is not clear, but it is coming. So maybe it's what actually leads to the better buoyancy in your emotional realm.
Okay, Mama T, good luck with that.
Good luck.
All right. Hey, our
Hi, Violet
moderator, Violet Lotus, you are up. Hey, Violet Ann, good to see you. We'll get you on the list. It's not very long. All right, we're on Violet Lotus, and then Gina, Libra, Margaret, and Violet Ann.
All right.
Well, and sometimes work just gets your mind off your worries, too. All right, Mr. O, your deck.
All right, so I have the Tarot, the Ancestral Path, and that one's the Empress from that deck. I like this one.
Oh, boy. Hey, January girl. We can get you on the list, sure. We've got a whole hour left, and it's a fairly short list. You're welcome. Did you have something to add to that, Violet Lotus?
I guess your question...
Oh, you're still typing.
Seems to me like your question is you're wondering if you've received the worst of it or if there's still something else going on.
Are you talking about Mr. O's deck that he's got in his hands? Which one is that again?
The Tarot of the Ancestral Path. It is a pretty deck. You'll be able to see a few more cards in a minute.
Okay. Oh, I was wondering why I saw the old suitcase there.
Huh.
All right. Let's just see what's going on with this situation. Let's throw 3 cards and see.
We will
might follow
absolutely
up
get
with
to you,
the yes,
January
no.
girl. Thank you, Margaret 1111. I like that deck too. And it's easier to handle because it's not super big cards, super wide cards.
They're a little wide, but they're not bad. They're
They're
shorter.
balanced compared to
Yeah.
other decks.
How old is that deck, do you think?
It's probably closer to 20 years.
Yeah.
If not even a little older. I'll look it up later. Okay, so our first card is our old friend, the Five of Swords.
Oh boy.
And they're upright.
Oh boy, Violet Lotus.
Right away, that applies to your question, I think, in a way, or what's going on. But then you have the Ten of Swords reversed.
All right, all right.
So that's interesting. Wow. This is definitely about adversity and strife, because then you also have the Two of Swords. And that's reversed too.
I hope that means they'll move on.
Yeah, somebody's moving on.
Maybe that means that. But it looks as though, obviously, the Five of Swords is they're stirring something up, aren't they? You feel like you're being antagonized, or, that you're being attacked. Let's just say it. But the Ten of Swords is reversed. So I don't know if that means that, you know what? You're just not gonna, you're just gonna brush off those wounds and move on, and I feel that the Two of Swords reversed may indicate that either it's a decision you make that makes them go away, something you do or say or make happen that makes them go away, or perhaps they decide to move on.
Well, with it all being swords, there's definitely a lot of strife here, or stress of some sort, adversity. And, a lot of times we both feel the Five of Swords is the card that nobody wins, but sometimes even in that nobody wins, there's still something that one side or the other may gain, and you have an upper hand. I think you have an upper hand, despite the fact that their energies are clearly arrayed against you. Thank you, Sunman. We needed that little spin
right,
there.
Well, I think, too, the one caveat with the Five of Swords is, it looks as though nobody is a winner with the Five of Swords. But those that can walk away from a fight or argument with their integrity intact, in other words, you don't stoop to the same methods as your opponents may be using against you, then you actually really are a winner. You win even though it feels like you're not. So, that's the caveat I always feel about the Five of Swords, particularly, I think, when it's upright.
Back to me.
Go on.
The Ten of Swords reversed
I'm sorry.
more or less says they're not going to win. Once again, this could be one of those kind of things where nobody wins, but really, Ten of Swords reversed, literally it sort of means bad things are swept away, bad things are not winning. And I'm thinking the Two of Swords reversed indicates that you either are the one walking away, mostly because you find out things that maybe put you ahead of them. So whether it's just how you can relate to them from now on, or how you can play their game back at them. When it's family, sometimes you can do, a lot of things to stay away from them, but you can't really ever stay away for good to some degree.
It's interesting. You also wanted to know, I think, if they know where you are. Is that it? Let's do a quick yes/no on that one. Let's just do it real quick, and then we'll throw the Lenormand. I'm curious to see if they know where you are.
Yeah, I saw that too, so I was wondering about that.
Patton!
Hi, Patton.
Good to see you, Patton.
Wow! That's toxic.
Sometimes we need that physical space. Especially if it's a real toxic situation.
Yeah, you can add Patton.
Absolutely, Patton. Oh, he doesn't need a reading. Okay. Good to always see a Patton. Hope things are going well over there.
Yeah, please stay safe, of course.
So it's just announced that the governor's in our state's husband has gotten COVID now.
I'm counting, right?
Yes.
Or do you want
Oh, did
to?
you want me to? Okay.
You need to practice.
What?
Because it's not fingers, so, you know.
Oh boy. I think they know where you are. According to this, they may have figured out where you are.
Yeah, you have 3 aces.
Or, they know how to at least connect with you, maybe in some way. Because I know you shut, your Twitter thing. I don't know if that has something to do with why it's picking it up here
Bottom of the deck.
so strongly. Oh my gosh. And then he pulled the bottom of the deck, and it's the Two of Cups reversed. So I think that indicates that clearly this is a bad relationship.
They don't trust you. They don't relate really to what you are. They're not down with it at all.
Let's throw some Lenormand, shall we? Here, grab
I will.
it
My
first.
fingers are hurting. One would wonder.
Well, we'll see. Meanwhile, I heard there's a new variant that just came out in France, and it has even more mutations than this variant.
And I have pulled the house. How about you?
Oh boy. Something good, I hope. Uh-oh.
And the clouds, but the brighter side is towards the house.
Well, I feel like you are concerned as to whether your home is truly your refuge and if you're secure there. I feel you're a bit confused about that, whether, there is a problem or not. The light side is facing the house, which could indicate that, maybe your worries will dissipate and you can feel safer in where you are now. But clearly, I do sense the worries.
I think that although that may be true to some degree, I think that to me, I look at the cloud and the house as symbols, and I sort of feel like things from your home are blowing away, like you're sort of doing a sense of protection, keeping them away, which may be your intention. So I'm wondering too if that's just a sign too that, you've used the ice, the water ice thing, so maybe you should do cold air too. And, just, send air energy to sort of keep them away or confused or something.
Well, the other thing is that it may not mean they know actually where you live, but that you are just having these feelings of insecurity about your security right now because, you feel they've resurfaced and are doing things, or they've resurfaced and are doing things. So it is a tenuous time for you right now with this, but I do feel as though they will move on, I feel.
You know what? I was just going to say that, Banshee, because I sort of feel like with that Two of Cups reversed, it may be saying too that, they're going to just say hopeless from their point of view. And maybe this does talk about energy dissipating.
Fingers crossed. That's what
nice?
the cards have for you today. Good luck with that.
All right.
Gina, you are up.
No, that's okay, Patton. We appreciate you dropping in. Hey, I can't make it up that late anymore.
So
I
good to see
definitely
you.
can't. It's good to see you, though. Take care.
Virtually.
I know.
Yes.
There you go. That's a good idea, Margaret.
All right,
Thank you.
let's see. Let's see what Dad has for you.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know which angel it is, but one of the archangels shows up in my Goth Tarot. No, it showed up in my Thoughts from Thoth, which is on our blog at tfttarotfortoday.com. But I had that one statue. What is that one statue that's out there in the hall? Is that Michael?
With the blue?
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's Michael.
Okay. And it had a little thing around its neck.
Yeah, I think Michael's one of the different ones, but I'm not sure.
Well, I used a different archangel for my Thoughts from Thoth Thursday.
All right. Shuffle away. Oh, then it was Michael. Okay. I don't know how I got that wrong. I kept thinking he was one of the other ones, but you know what? Maybe that's true.
Well, if you happen to visit our blog and see it there, you can leave a comment or tell us next time.
Yeah.
I thought he was
well, you
blue,
published
though.
it on Twitter today, right? So if you're
yeah,
on
it's
Twitter,
on Twitter
yeah,
too, or the link to
and
it.
Facebook. All right, let's move that.
I just thought he looked kind of neat there with Thoth. You know, it's like, yeah, you guys are cool together. Alrighty.
Nine of Pentacles reversed. Four of Pentacles reversed. This is really interesting, Gina. It's all Pentacles.
Wow, that's funny because Violet Lotus was all swords, right?
The Page of Pentacles is upright.
So I imagine that one maybe informs the others. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I see a pattern here with the 4 and the 9. I think your dad, or the message is, you know, about your comfort zone with your resources right now. And maybe it's time to let some things go. Maybe your dad is recognizing in order to bring in some new growth and new prosperity into your life, you may have to let something go. And even if this isn't, I mean, it's very material, this reading, but it might be speaking of other things as well, Gina. Just that if you feel like you're just too comfortable, or, you know, sometimes when we get too comfortable in some aspects of our life, we will become complacent. And so your father might be saying this is a time to release some of this, and let it go, so that you can invite in new positive growth into your life.
Well, it's kind of interesting because, of course, I do believe some of this too, but maybe a little differently, because I think that this Nine of Pentacles is talking about some sense of release from, you know, good material surroundings. Maybe not release so much as just sort of saying moving beyond them. And then the Four of Pentacles really reversed is sort of saying moving beyond the concept of value. You know, what is value? How does one determine value? Because ultimately we're moving towards that last pentacle, the Page of Pentacles, and I never quite see the Page of Pentacles as anything a little bit less than semi-mystical, that there's this whole idea about what they're looking at. There's an abstract quality to their visioning process. They're looking there, and so I'm thinking all of these cards are saying, your father is saying that the material stuff is okay, but it doesn't define you, and it isn't really what you're at. You're really this. You're really questing that way.
What way?
Mystical.
Okay.
Insightful.
Go deeper. Well, you know, the Page of Pentacles, I think, is a student as well, you know, a studier, somebody who's learned. And I like what you said, Gina, because it does kind of fit to mind your money and downsize. I think there is this point of freeing yourself and liberating yourself from that which no longer serves you, you know, as a value to you. To let it go because there is so much more awaiting you. The page also is just about newness, new adventures, but new adventures I feel of the mind as well as of the material. Does that make sense?
Sure.
I
I always
think
think there's something visionary as well as grounded in education for sure with that. So maybe this is saying too that if nothing else, you're moving towards learning new things too.
Well, and you may, right, there may be lessons through going through this process of eliminating what no longer serves you. Righty here. Mr. O.
Birds in the tower. Cheap, cheap. You're not cheap.
I think your father just wants to remind you that, you are not isolated. You are not alone. They're constantly there. He's constantly there connecting with you, sending you messages in various ways.
Well, the other thing too is that maybe they're saying too that they're connected to you through what you do, because there's an institutional quality about the tower. It's sort of semi-work related. The birds itself is sort of work related in a sense. So there's an idea maybe that through the good works you do, those are things that brighten their spirit too, or that make their spirit sort of chirp along with, your spirit.
Well, and you in a way, yeah, I can't say anything else. I think the birds just talk about connection and connectivity. And so also maybe it is talking about your fortress of solitude, your home environment again.
Fortress of solitude.
Fortress of solitude.
Oh wait, that's not silence.
Not silentitude. Or whatever. Solitude. And so basically it's saying too is, your home, it's maybe your fortress, and, this connection is about, making your fortress more solid and secure by eliminating what no longer serves you.
It is interesting to note that, in a sense, the Nine of Pentacles sort of relates to the tower, a person who has this sort of thing around them, this fortress.
Was that also like your family home, Gina, by chance? Because I'm wondering about that, seeing that that's institutional here. Maybe your dad is also telling you that, it's okay if you need to change things up there, if you need to make some, let some things go. And that's all I have for you. Good luck with that.
Thanks, Gina.
Libra is ready with the general reading. All right, we just got 4 people left after that.
Okay, let's go back to the Tarot of the Secrets. The Secrets Tarot.
Okay, I just wondered. Well, happy birthday to your dad.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, my father's well over 100 now. Sheesh.
Well, let's see. My father would have been...
Ah.
89. He would have been 89. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I've had several family homes, I suppose.
My father would have been 120 this year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
1912, I thought it was 1910.
He's 1912.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I know my grandfather, I think, was born in 1910. my mind.
All right. General for Libra. Let's see what we've
Okay,
got.
Libra cusp. Let's see what we got.
Selling some antiques. We've been thinking of purging a lot of stuff ourselves, antiques and otherwise.
So that first card was the Wheel reversed. Our second card is the Knave of Chalices, which is also considered the Page of Cups. And then we have, and that's reversed too. And then we have the Sun upright. So that's a kind of mixed bag there.
Huh.
I would suppose that this says that maybe there's going to be some like flippy floppy stuff happening, and where it may look like where you thought maybe, you know, you were feeling tender about somebody, or not tender, I would say, where maybe you were sort of not feeling a prospect there. Maybe a prospect may show up romantically. So as a general reading, I'm saying like maybe there's some back and forth wavering with an emotional prospect. I don't know if it's necessarily a person. Maybe it's just getting involved in something you really like, you know, whatever that could be. A bingo club, not really.
I feel like maybe, I'm thinking back, I think lately when we've done some readings for you, Libra, it's kind of revolved around some arguments or emotional situations or upsets. I seem to recall this. So it looks as though this is still working its way through. There's something emotionally disappointing or upsetting about, you know, a relationship with some people, whether it's family or friends. But I think that things are going to finally straighten out one way or another. The light is coming back again, the sun is coming back, and you're going to start to feel better about things, like things are working out the way they need to. You know, whatever that means for you, you know, if it means dissolving some relationships and moving on, or if it just means that you've sorted through whatever the problems were in the situation, it's looking better.
The Wheel reverse could be the ultimate indicator of somebody needs a timeout. Let's wait till you're back on top of the circle. Wait until you have a Snickers.
Snickers bar. Well, I really see that wheel and the page are together there. And I just feel like this is still kind of working. The wheel is still on that downturn where things still might be tense. There might still be some issues. But it's going to start to clear up. I don't know how long this is going to take, but I feel like you might, I wonder, this is really odd for me to say this, but I wonder if when the Mercury retrograde arrives, if things aren't going to shift.
Well, to me, just the idea that the sun shows up sort of says like it's brightening. So
yeah,
it
so
may
it
not be
is
long.
coming. It may not be too long. Yeah.
Let's do the Lenormand.
Let's do the Lenormand. Where'd I put them? Here you go. You go
right.
first. Oh, wow.
I got fish.
But I got
fish.
that.
And she got mice. Fish and mice. Sounds like a lopsided circus.
Well, you know, if money is involved, that always complicates everything. So I don't know if this has anything to do with money and finances, but clearly there's still some stress and troubles. But there could be, the fish beyond that could indicate that, you know, it's about movement in a way, and it's about flow. And the mice being here still indicates that something is impeding that flow. There's still some stress, there's still some strain, and there's still little nagging things going on.
Well, I almost wonder if this is saying that these are other people's problems or worries or money situations, and they're just sort of have little tangents into your life for different reasons, you know, like because you were counting on doing something with somebody, but they can't now because they're having those problems or something like that.
I have a feeling it could also indicate that with the sun there, that and the mice and the fish, that finally maybe some of the stuff is going to start moving. It's going to start now shifting. Because that sun is just a very positive omen in all of
That's
this.
a good point. That could just be saying that this stuff may be sort of immediate right now, but the overall idea is that there's flux going on here. And of course the fish sort of provides that too. So
yes, we are in pre-shadow. I know, January 14th.
But it's not a pretty shadow.
I finally got my new Llewellyn astrological calendar. So I'm on track.
All right, Libra, so that's what we had. Good luck.
Good luck with that, Libra. We're on Margaret. Hey, Margaret, good to see
Margaret.
you.
Welcome to our show.
They're tiles. They're actually tiles that somebody made of Lenormand cards.
Yes, here's a couple of them. They're actually little tiles.
So they're like what can I call them? Like Lenormand runes.
On the back, they have these little stylized design.
And they came in the most awesome box. But let me tell you, they were not cheap because they're handcrafted.
You're welcome, Libra.
And I got them in a beautiful box, and it was my retirement gift to myself. So when I was retired last year from my job.
They are cute and adorable, and I like them. They just feel good in my hands,
Yeah.
and she has taught me a lot about Lenormand, but working with them is really the best way. I just find my own way. I mean, she's good for keeping me on the straight path.
Okay, Margaret, what you got for us? Okay. Is it my deck, right?
Yes. All right.
I'm using the Tarot at the End of the Rainbow? I got that right.
So we will be back on Sunday with our regular stream. On Saturday, we'll be here with the happy hour. I don't have the notice for that, but check that out. That's on Saturday at 10 a.m. It's 1 hour with a message from Spirit that is always going to be positive.
Can't give you any bad news at happy hour. It's just
Never.
not allowed.
Yes.
This is a great deck, but I might, after this reading, retire it till this March when it's St. Patrick's Day. It just seems perfect with the rainbow in it and being at the end of the rainbow.
And then I'll find my leprechaun deck for that day. I don't think I have a leprechaun deck. I used to, though. I had one with elves in it, but I think I gave it up to somebody.
Yeah, I'll be able to bring out some other decks, maybe some fairy decks for that month or something. Okay, Mr. O.
Mr. O is here.
This is just a beautiful deck. I mean, at first I wasn't sure. I'm like, oh, rainbow on every card. Okay. But the more I used it, the more I really, really like the artwork on it. It's really a nice, colorful deck.
The rainbows add a lot to it because I'm very visual oriented, so usually I'll get something extra from that. I will. That one almost jumped out at me. Or did it? Move those.
Yes, sir. And it's a good size deck, too, for shuffling.
Yeah, it's
like
a good
it.
deck for shuffling. So,
well, they have a message for you. Holy moly. All right, so we have the death card. Upright.
Ooh, number 13. I like it. Death is a centaur.
And then we have the Five of Swords again. Upright.
This card has appeared 2 or 3 times before
but doesn't
tonight.
that look happier with the rainbows?
Hi, I'm here with colored swords. Play nice.
And then we have the Three of Wands upright. All these cards are upright.
Ooh. Well, there's not quite a rainbow in that one.
Well, so...
Okay.
I kind of... Well, then that's what's at the end of the rainbow, okay?
All right.
I don't know.
You got it.
So this is interesting because radical transformation. I think that your guides have a message for you, is that the time is right now to set aside any angst or animosities or adversities you feel towards, some place or situations in your life, and look to a better future now. I think that Two of Wands is indicating that you are moving towards.
It's a 3.
Oh, I'm sorry, 3. I meant the. Okay, I'm
You
sorry.
did.
You are moving towards far better things. There's brighter plans ahead for you, and that's maybe even what Spirit is saying as far as connecting with them goes. Is that you will be able to reach your goal of connection.
Well, because there are rainbows and little fairy-like images, I'm going to have to just go with it. And I'd say that the idea of transformation here says that you're transforming because you're in tune with all of these kind of elements that are between the worlds. Ooh. Fairy things are sort of between the worlds. They're not exactly our world. They're not exactly their world, perhaps. And there's another fairy there, too, who is saying you can take the reins of power with this transformation, but play nice.
Yes,
I'm
integrity.
giving you pretty little rainbow swords. Play nice. And if you do, then, you can have what you want, even if, what you want is not what everybody else wants.
Yeah, you know what? And actually, when I was reading it, I was kind of looking at it as a message for you, but from the spirits, but I feel that this is also talking about your connection with them. I love what Mr. O said about between the worlds here. I wish I had thought in those terms, because
I had to dig in because I saw the little tiny images at the bottom there.
That's really perfect. And especially when you combine it with the Five of Swords, because the Five of Swords is saying, you are transforming now because you have reached a higher state. You're not going to let others drag you down into the gutter, into their level. You've learned to rise above that and, transform your life. And now you can look towards these higher pursuits.
It's like She-Ra and My Pink Pony had a baby.
Okay. But I think it's really, really a very nice message overall, even with the Five of Swords here, because, the Five of Swords is probably as well aspected as it's going to get, and so I really think the focus of the Five of Swords in this case is on the integrity aspects, to keeping the rising above the muck in life, and the things that try to bring us to our knees. You're not going to let that happen.
And that's a good way of looking at this card too, is saying that the normal Five of Swords talks about people who are fighting and trying to achieve something, whether they're rightful to that goal or not. And that fairy holding the rainbow sword says, play nice. You can all get there together. You can all cooperate. Uh-oh.
I have a repeat. Repeat.
Me too. Aw. Sailing away to your bouquet.
So you've got the ship and the bouquet. I really feel like you're moving into a period here of great joy or harmony, happiness. The bouquet is about a gift, sure, but it's also about joy and happiness, and the ship is about movement. And so travel. I don't know if you're planning on taking a trip. That's highly possible too. But if this is talking about your connection to spirit, I think it's going to be a very joyful journey for you.
I can't say anything else other than that. And that really, this is what Spirit is saying to you, is that maybe that message is they want you to travel towards your joy. They want you to move towards your joy, whether it is taking a physical trip or whatever that means, is like, make the journey, or it is saying joy will come to you, because of course a lot of times really it's the other way around. That tile is informing that one.
By the way, I love that Enya song, Sail Away, Sail Away.
I was going to say that.
So, So that's what we have for you. Thanks for hanging on with us today. Appreciate it. All right.
So Violet Ann is next.
Violet Ann is next. Good to see you, Violet Ann. And then January Girl. Yeah, I on my son has me tied into his Amazon Music account, and I've got some of Enya's complete works there. I have a lot of her stuff on CD anyway, but I have it like on my Kindle now, so I can just listen, or my Amazon Music, so I can listen to it on my tablet and stuff. Love it. Love life. All right, Mr. O, you got a deck for that?
Yeah, let's do Tarot of the Cat People.
All right.
Yeah, we'll do that one.
I have a lot of them. You know that song, isn't it called Only Time?
Yeah.
That haunting song that I just love. I never saw her video for it, and when I did, I was just so blown away.
You mean where the kids are eating the Kraft macaroni and
what?
cheese?
No,
oh no, that's American
that's a
TV commercial.
So, no, her video where it's the changing seasons, like, and
yeah, that one's beautiful.
So awesome. I just, one melts into the other, and it was just beautiful.
We saw it not too long ago.
I made you watch it.
You made
I
me
said, you
watch
have to
it.
watch it.
Well, I usually like the ones that are a little bit more sadder, like the one about the rain. Here it comes again.
I like that. There aren't too many I don't like there. Really, I can't think of any I don't like of Enya's. I'll listen to them all.
So, we're going to give us a little Sunny cam here.
Yay!
Hi, Sunny. Hello there.
It's the Sun
Are you
Man
asleep?
with the plan. And the plan is to take over our set.
Someday. All right, how's the love life looking?
Let's see what we got, Violet Ann. All right. Oh boy.
Thank you. Mhm.
Well, it's the King of Wands reversed. Let's start there. But look at you. You also have the Sun.
Interesting.
And our party card. The Four of Wands.
I
So-
sort of like this version of the Four of Wands. I just do.
You want to start, or do you want me to dive
Go ahead.
in?
You can dive
Oh,
in.
joy. So, the King of Wands, what's up with this, though? So, I don't know. Are you with somebody right now? Are you seeing somebody right now? I feel like there may be some problems or issues with this person.
Well, maybe there's somebody that's either you're drawn to, but maybe they're just sort of, you know, or maybe there's somebody who you feel is charismatic, but in an anti-charismatic way. I don't know.
You mean like an anti-hero or something?
I'm holding on for an anti-hero. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm a little confused with that one too. It's not resonating exactly.
There's some weird stuff at play here, Violet Ann, because really, if I looked at Strength and the Four of Wands together...
No, that's the Sun.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, it's the Sun.
Yes,
That's
remember?
right.
Mhm.
That's right. It's the Sun and the Four of Wands together, and really, that's what I thought, because when I saw that together, that almost sounds like a successful marriage or union of some sort.
Right, especially combined there too. So, did you meet this person at another celebration, or is it somehow connected to that?
I sensed there was something wrong here with this King of Wands, but I wonder here if something isn't going to happen for you. I don't think, maybe it's not this person, but
I don't
maybe
think so.
it's somebody else is going to come up that's going to get kind of serious, I think.
Right, I just sort of think that this Sun resonates as another version of the Two of Cups, or possibly the lovers or something like that. I'm just saying it resonates that way. I don't know that it's truly that. But of course, the sun does talk about things like the possibility of marriage or deeper connections.
Well, the sun, if nothing else, we know is about success,
That's
and
true.
good things happening. And the Four of Wands has this idea of a celebration, a marriage, a structure being built. So if nothing else, this could indicate that you are in line to maybe get serious with somebody a little bit. If it hasn't happened yet, I think it's coming.
Well, maybe in the aftermath of you having to cut off communication with somebody, this will unfold. That maybe it's just the kind of thing that energy moving away from you, it opens up another energy moving in.
Much love to you, Gina. Have a good night.
Oh, bye.
So
Sleep tight.
I think it's really clear to me. Well, and I wonder if this is just coming. Maybe it was the right thing you did to cut off relations with that King of Wands. Or, the other thing might. The other thing, before I give this to him, the other thing that might be indicated by the King of Wands here is that it looks like something serious might be coming your way, but the King of Wands might, because it's reversed, might be cautioning against approaching it too aggressively. In other words, let it unfold, because it looks like success is there for you, but let it unfold.
When you said that, Banshee, I almost immediately thought, like, maybe there is somebody who's coming and that they're not a bad person, but they definitely want to move slowly on marriage or deeper connection.
Oh.
Like, it just sort of hit me like that maybe the next person.
And I'm saying too aggressive, but you're saying not aggressive.
Well, maybe they're aggressive about not wanting to be deeply connected, as in marriage.
I could see that. All right. I mean, I could see that too. Uh-oh. I don't like the way he said that. And look what popped into my hand. Let's see. Oh. Pilot Ann.
I pulled the moon in Lenormand, and she pulled the key.
The key is va-va-voom. I mean, you've got the sun and the moon in this reading, so let's face it. It's looking pretty good. And the moon in the Lenormand is often about romantic
It could
things.
be, right.
So I feel here the key is to just enjoy this romance that's going to be coming your way. I would take it, as it comes and let it unfold in time.
The moon is about cycles, and so it doesn't stay the same ever like the sun might.
I wonder if it means it will come in a full, in a moon cycle.
But I think also too, it just means maybe, because I had this little flash that maybe this next person coming along that we seem to be describing there is really somebody that just maybe, is not typical too. I could say that reverse king is just not a typical person, but maybe they just don't need to move real fast either.
Wow. Something's up, and it looks like it's going to be good. So
you'll
keep
have to
us
let us know.
posted.
Good luck.
Good luck with that. January girl.
Hey, January girl.
You are our last reading of the night.
Unless anybody else shows up. But we're pretty close to the end anyways, 20 minutes, so yeah.
Sleep loose instead of tight. Whoops. Sounds better to me, Gina.
So looking ahead, we will be doing Banshee's show on Sunday at 10 a.m. Later in the month, right around the 20th or so, is our modality as we move into Aquarius, the sun that is. And of course, there's January girl.
Okay. I'll go back to this.
I see. So you're wondering if about a year working there will really help you shore up some stuff. That would be nice. A lot of times it just really depends on how well you can live economically and how much you're able to, forego or, be a little bit less, and for some people it's easier than others. We're not necessarily great at saving money ourselves, but we have found that over this last 2 years, we don't eat out as much as we used to.
No.
We definitely, we don't eat out at all.
Well,
we'll get some carry-outs.
We get carry-out still, though.
But
Trust
we used to
me.
eat out, overall a bit more often than what we do now. Things like
because
that.
we used to meet some friends out at restaurants as well, which isn't happening anymore either.
And I'm just going to have to refuse the idea that I'm going to have to inevitably catch Omicron, because I just think that we're both those kind of people that we don't want to catch that. If we catch that, we're not going to just be really sick. We might be really sick and worse. I don't trust,
Well, I don't want to think that, but I don't want to test the theory either way.
I don't want to test the theory. Thank you. That's good enough for me. I don't want to test the theory.
All right.
All right.
Uh-oh, the Magician's reversed. The Hangman is reversed. And Justice is reversed. So you've got 3 major arcana, and they're all reversed. So I think there might be some...
Good night, Violet Ann. You stay safe, too.
Take care, Violet Ann. Stay safe out there.
Thanks for
Absolutely. January, girl, it may take things may not be as they appear. The Magician's reversed here, and so you might be not seeing, I don't know, maybe are they telling you everything about this job? For example, do you know after, let's say you've been there for 6 months, that you would get a raise? Do they promise that? I would just say to make sure, if you're going to take this job, that you understand all of the ins and outs with their structure of how they reward you, or how they step you up as far as salary goes. The Hangman reversed indicates it's not bad reversed. It just indicates that maybe you have to share your thoughts and concerns with them a little bit about this, and to make sure that you will be able to balance things out in the year ahead. Because Justice reversed to me is indicating there may be a little bit of imbalance. So in other words, you'll just have to, make do with a little bit less for a little bit longer than you had planned.
Well, I feel these are kind of dismal here, and I do think that this is looking at you going forward. So I don't know if it's so much your thoughts so much as what you may actually in fact experience. And I don't feel as positive about all these cards as Banshee might about one in particular. I do feel that this Magician may suggest that maybe there are some things that were vague or deceptive, but we could say vague, like maybe they just weren't outlined. That's how they could say it. Well, we didn't really indicate this, but we really meant this. But the Hangman, to me, maybe suggests that you may have to give up more than what you expected, or that what you're giving up doesn't totally equate with what you expected. And that maybe there's a sense that, some of this is unfair because you didn't either understand it or it wasn't made clear to you. And of course, the Hangman and the Magician generally represent energies that are a little bit more astute in thinking. So there would be no real excuse for you not to understand that, other than the fact that maybe they were being deliberately vague or deceptive. So in other words, I'm suggesting that maybe things are not on the up and up.
Well, so basically you are sales, and I know that you said it's up to you, so, you bring in your own commissions, but are there no bonuses for performance? And and what are they if there are, and when do you get them? There just seems to be something that's not as it seems. The Magician is the cautionary card for me here, I think, in all of this. And I'm just going to deviate from Mr. O a little bit and say that I feel Justice isn't so much about unfairness, but it's about the balance you were seeking in your financial affairs.
Okay, I could go that way.
I just kind of think that maybe it won't be there right away as soon as you would like.
Right. I mean, I can't really say that you should or shouldn't exactly. I don't like to feel that I can do that exactly. But I feel there's something vague here, or possibly more than vague.
You know what else is funny about that hanged man there? What does the hanged man also mean? Kind of coming down and socializing again and
That's
being
true.
with people. And so I think the hanged man reversed might also be talking about, yeah, you're going to have to really go out there and, I don't know how to say it, but push push yourself to keep engaging with people. Obviously, this is sales, so it's a high contact and customer environment. You're going to have to make sure you're ready for that.
Well, that could also be backed up by the energies of the reverse magician too, because the magician does seek to control his will. So it may be that these are the ideas that enforce each other. That some of this is going to be a little bit of an upward battle or an upward course in how you plan to reason that if this is what's going on.
I will also say this: we're going to draw the Lenormand, but you bring up an interesting point here, January girl. This does seem to reflect how you are feeling about the situation right now. It does seem to be like the cards are saying that.
Well, I thought January girl was saying that in reflection to what may actually be happening, what we see happening. And I sort of feel that this is maybe a future indication of things to watch out for, less than what January girl's thinking. But it could be both, too.
So there's some action you can take now with the manager to protect yourself. Just make sure that, you understand everything about how the job functions and what the expectations are. I know they want you to sell. I know that. But just make sure you understand all of what's expected of you. I think that's the best thing at this point. Do you want to look at the bottom? Was that
did.
I knew he was going to do that. Well, that's an interesting card. Because it's the opposite of the Justice reversed.
Right, it's the Two of Pentacles, and so I think the Two of Pentacles is saying that there is balance, that although Justice reversed suggests that you're questioning that, or whether or not things will work out, this is saying perhaps there will be.
Well, I think what it means, the Two of Pentacles is kind of wobbly either way, in my opinion.
There's a little bit of wobble.
Because when it's reversed, everything is just a mess. But when it's upright, you're holding it together, but very tenuously.
Yeah.
So let me just say, it's not going to be a totally easy road for you. You will feel some stress, but you might be able to hold your own. But ultimately, is that what shifts the balance? Are you going to be feeling so much stress that, even if you're just making ends meet financially, is it worth it to you? So that's something to consider there as well. Grab that. Oh.
What?
Do you? Well, there's good news at the end of the tunnel.
Grandma got ran over. Grandma was a reindeer. No, wait. Grandma's not a reindeer. Okay, and the sun. So the lady and the sun, along with our bottom card.
Well, I'm glad the sun came out. That does indicate to me that, you can make the success that you desire. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be a bumpy road for a while, I feel. But ultimately, you yourself will be able to achieve success. And that's basically what you're saying here. It is on you, so it is going to fall on your shoulders. And rest assured, regardless of how iffy things can be sometimes, you will be able to pull through.
And I think that's why we pulled that bottom card too, because I think that sort of goes along with that you're going to be the one who can do this. It's not going to be easy. You're going to have to work at it. So I think you can safely consider this to some degree, but I just don't want you to feel
it's easy.
It's going to be easy, or that you don't have maybe, if you have the ability to maybe be able to ask them, is this actually in writing anywhere, if that's appropriate, or if it falls under categories, your operating procedures, how they want you to operate. Because I just question their being vague about things, or you coming up against a situation where there's a vagueness.
The Magician reversed is a tricky card because often it indicates that not all the cards are on the table, that they're not telling you everything that you need to know. So feel free to make sure that you have all the information you need. That's what we have for you. It's
Good luck.
very like I said, I think it's going to take you a little bit of time till everything starts to right itself. But ultimately, there's success here for you. You're just going to have to work a little bit harder to get there.
And it's going to really be you.
And it is going to be you. Just like you said. Well, we get the Lady Lenormand. So there you have it.
Even with the Magician reversed, just the Magician showing up shows you are a take charge person. Maybe you're totally in an environment, or you're not totally in an environment, but you're in that situation where there's precariousness, but you have that personality of the Magician. You can make things happen.
Whew. We're done.
We're done. We want to thank Violet Lotus very much for helping us with
Yay!
our stream.
Thank you, Violet.
We're going to start owing you now.
Well, we certainly will owe you. Absolutely.
And we thank everybody that came tonight. It was wonderful to see everybody. And take care in this weather. I know some parts of our states are having really bad, sucky weather.
Oh, besides everything else with the COVID, all this bad weather is really wearing a lot of people down too. And there's been a lot of disasters this end of the year. So
good night, you guys.
Stay safe.
Thank you.
Take care. Margaret, thank you for joining us. And we will see you next time. We'll see you at Happy Hour. Woo-hoo.
Right, on Friday, or Saturday.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye now.